All right. Let's get our noisemaker here. Can you hear it? Hey, yeah. It is time.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
What's going on?
Hey. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, here we are on another sunny, beautiful evening.
Windy, sunny.
Windy and sunny in Cleveland town, and you know it's going to be beautiful sweater weather.
Yes, beautiful Frank and Tony's having us again. This is awesome. Nice rib fest over the weekend. Good times. $2 beers.
$2 beers.
$5 pizza.
Come on down for your hangover from the rib fest and get some $2 beers.
Everybody got a case of the Mondays. I was like, the fuck is that?
You know what the cure is for the case of the Mondays?
What is that?
Win or lose, we still booze.
I love it.
Yeah.
You guys are so great.
That's right.
That's right, man.
And we got
this
a couple.
Thing's cool.
Oh yeah, I figured it was a music type of episode, so let's bring in a musical instrument.
We're gonna use that as a drink caller. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, I'm sure that could get old real fast.
Oh yeah. I think I end up missing like the counter, right?
Oh, not back to the counter again. This will have to be our counter when we talk about the counterculture.
That's right.
Yeah, we got a couple people tune in. So, hey, what's going on, Nick Dangermean? And hello to Lily Laserbeam as well. What's going on? And looks like we got A-Train entering the station.
A-Train.
Yeah, we're down here at Frank and Tony's. We do have the speaker working so the Peanut Gallery can hear and interact with us. Hello, Peanut Gallery. We'll get your wave back in about 15 seconds when the delay is over.
When they hear it. Shit, fuck this one.
Well, I myself am Phillip McCrevice on this program, and I am joined by Red Hot Scott, the AI robot.
Calculating.
Oh, does not compute, went to calculating. Okay, all right.
Processing.
And we actually have a very exciting episode for you today because we are finally going to continue on the Cleveland series.
Yay.
Woo! And this is Cleveland Part 2, the musical edition. Are we doing something right? Are we doing something wrong? In the future? In the past? In the present? It's all going to be commingled. But we got, a bona fide musician in our midst here, so I feel like I want you to come on here to start the show with me.
For sure.
So we can talk a little bit about venues. But the first question I have for you is, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Uh-huh. No, every other day.
Every other day. Because Mercury is the Roman god of tricksters. We're goofballs, degenerates, not that drunken maniacs.
Uh-huh.
Tune in weekly, or you'll be square. Miss an episode, don't you dare. Yeah. All right, Button Maniac, that's enough buttons for right now. Enough.
Calculating.
All right, so calculate on this. So the reason why this episode came to be was there's an update to the prospects of a new football stadium in Cleveland.
Yep.
And there was a lot of argument going on, a lot of back and forth. The people saying, we need this new stadium in Cleveland because we need another concert venue. We need an arena to start selling out shows, and we need to bring artists in because of that arena. And so I thought, that's kind of silly because Cleveland has a lot of big arenas and a lot to offer. I think bringing in a new stadium just for the arena aspect would be a huge mistake.
Oh, I disagree.
On the lake. So what do you think about that?
I disagree. Bringing in a new venue is going to do a number of things, not only for the concerts especially, because if any inclement or foul weather comes, we are able to just close the dome and go. So that opens us up for actual winter snow concerts, which you can't have outdoors and outdoor venues. It has to be in smaller, compact arenas.
What about the arena that we have?
Well, what arena? What are we talking that we can do those snow concerts in?
Rocket Mortgage
Yeah.
Fieldhouse.
So how many
it.
does that hold versus the new football arena?
Well, you're just thinking that bigger is better. I don't think bigger
I
is
do.
necessarily better.
Yes, it is.
I think these arena concerts are pretty lame, actually. I think you get a lot better show at like a House of Blues, Agora, Odeon, Frog Shop. Did I say House of Blues already?
Absolutely, but we get bigger acts. And plus, just to get back to that point, having a dome stadium is going to also open the door for things like, the Final Fours, think of all the exterior events you can also hold, with an indoor closed facility.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about that right now because I feel like the biggest argument for the new stadium is the concerts. Yeah. I know there's other arguments for it. I don't really want to go through every single one of those because we're talking about music right now, yes. Mr. Music Man.
And I do too. And it's going to do one of two things because you will still have, the Huntington Field, the open air stadium, so to speak, and the closed air field. I think it'll be competition for venues, which actually might be better for the actual attendee, concert goer. It might be competition for better pricing and more competitive for bigger acts to come in there.
Well, the bigger acts may come.
They will.
But I'm talking about right now. Can we even fill up the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse? Can we even fill up the Wolfetein Center? What about Blossom? They have a roof on that thing. Are these venues being
only partial,
implemented to their full degree, and would increasing the capacity in the city actually yield the results that we want? Because the caveat here is that me and Mr. Jsonda the other night were talking about all these artists that have been bypassing Cleveland.
Yes.
Now, why do you think that is? That a lot of artists, whether it be a large size, medium, or small, they see Cleveland on the dock and like, yeah, let's just skip the mistake on the lake. Let's go to Columbus. Let's go to Pittsburgh. Right. Let's go to Detroit. Let's go to somewhere else besides Cleveland.
Now they're not going to be skipping.
You think that building this giant monstrosity is going to bring all the I don't think so.
I do. Why would it not?
Because I said it's all different sizes, even like medium-sized artists. So if you're like an artist,
those you can put at the Quicken. You can stick those or whatever. Like the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Anything in an arena, I think, is a major event. In terms of like a more mid-size, I'm talking about House of Blues, Agora, Odeon, Peabody's Down Under.
Yeah, those are we pretty much got a good flow of that.
I'm saying we don't. I'm saying that artists I see online, I see that they're announcing their tour. I look through the tour, and I'd say like a dozen times in the past year they're skipping Cleveland.
Right.
And I'm just wondering why they're skipping Cleveland.
And we're losing out on a lot of major type of festivals, events too, as well. They're bypassing, the CLE, and I'm not kind of cool with that. Because the more facilities you have, I think the better chance you have to attract more artists, which will attract the fans if the band is worth the draw.
Well, I don't think this is like a one-size-fits-all. I think this is the most massive stadium you can possibly think of. Because there's only maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen acts that can actually fill up that stadium.
Yeah.
So if you're getting the new stadium with 55,000 seats, you're getting Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Yuck.
Well,
you're paying
in the chairs, man.
You're paying $1,000 a ticket or more.
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not actually going to be able to use this thing.
Well, we'll have others, I mean, they're just not going to be Taylor Swift. There's going to be other acts, coming through.
All right, maybe Taylor Swift, maybe like Chapel Roan. Maybe you can get some Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know.
Who?
Hey, Peanut Gallery, what are some artists?
Yeah.
Well, no, you can
attract, some of the bigger acts, I do believe. They have an AC/DC's coming soon, right? So they're going to be in the open air stadium, and that's a good act. Huh? I mean, that's a good massive.
I thought AC/DC played in Geneva.
AC/DC played in Geneva. What?
Or is that just an AC/DC?
Yeah, it's a cover. Yeah, it's a cover. AC/DC. AC/DC didn't even drive it through Geneva, man. So
what do we got?
There we go.
Okay.
Jsonda.
Sorry, I'm fucking it up a little bit, but it's
That's okay.
When you were talking about them skipping Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland actually gets the fucking shaft
Yes.
because we have PA, like right over in Hershey, or like Erie, or not Erie,
Hershey.
but like Hershey. Yeah, Hershey, PA.
Got the Hershey squirt?
Hershey, PA. So an artist will go to Cleveland, but skip like the ones around them. If they don't skip, or if they do skip Cleveland, they go to Cincinnati. They'll go to like Hershey, and then we get shafted because it's basically one of those like, well, it's only a few hours away. They'll just drive there. So that's why we either get us or Cincinnati or Hershey.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a big draw too. People will
Yeah.
drive that way.
That's the thing that fucking sucks when you have major cities that are within a few hours of each other.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you're talking
Like
about Hershey.
Detroit.
Like, you really think like Hershey Park, like the candy place, they're getting concerts?
Hershey, PA, they get concerts.
Yeah.
Well, I have this this map of the economic geography of the United States, and myself and Jsonda were talking about it the other day, and this is a big problem, I think, because Cleveland has a very small area to pull from. Cleveland basically only pulls from Northeast Ohio. It doesn't even really pull from Toledo, even. So when you're building this 55,000 seat arena, are you going to get people from Cincinnati,
Yeah.
Columbus,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Toledo, Detroit? According to this, no.
Well, that map will expand a little bit, and it depends on the act and where they're going. So if they bypass, the Detroit, Pittsburgh, or the Columbus, Cincinnati area to go to Cleveland, like they bypass Cleveland, you'll go Detroit straight to Pittsburgh.
That's,
So you have to pick your poison on where to go. For some of these venues, I think they'll start to
that's the thing.
attract them right in the middle.
If we have a huge arena that could hold Metallica,
We didn't get Metallica.
Well, we had them at the Rock Hall. But if,
okay, the Rock Hall is different.
if we get a huge venue,
Rocket
if we get a huge venue that could hold Metallica, because Metallica is going to be a stadium concert. It's not going to be Rocket Mortgage.
Metallica's playing all around the world. They're playing like freaking Moscow.
Oh.
They're playing like London. They're playing like
So does Blank.
Belgrade. They're playing Oslo. They're not coming to freaking Cleveland.
So does
Yes,
Blank. Blank
Last
plays,
time,
Blank plays-
yeah. Well, we'll stop it right here. Last time they came. They did, I believe it was 2 shows at the Rocket Mortgage, back-to-back nights, with different sets.
What year was that?
A decade ago.
1989.
Yeah, man. Metallica was great in 1989.
1984.
I mean, it's the thing is, like, if there's a big enough thing, then
Yep.
that is going to kind of take away from the surrounding cities because Metallica's not going to come play like Rocket Mortgage or Quicken Loans.
Yeah.
They're not going to come play that. Like, they're going to play a state. If you look at their concerts, they're stadium concerts.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and I'm going to point out another thing, too. It's going to be an indoor arena with the dome over, the Brook Park Airport ID. What that's going to do for the setup crew and all that, the roadies and the tear down and the take up, they don't have to deal with inclement weather. So they can schedule themselves in, and some of the Cleveland inclement weather, and then they have to worry about rain during the summer because that's all going to be enclosed. They can do their job and do their work without having to deal with, like, just say, the Huntington Park, the Cleveland Brown Stadium, where it could be potentially a lot of extra steps involved because of the weather. So that's going to attract more artists who want to come and play here.
I got a quick comparison here, and then we'll get Princess D on the program. So I was going through all the different NFL stadiums,
Yeah.
the domes, and checking like what their pull is around the area.
Yeah.
So there's a dome for the Lions in Detroit that pulls from the entire state of Michigan plus Toledo. There's a dome
Plus Canada, too.
They don't count. They're paying with their funny money. But Indianapolis has a dome.
Yeah.
And Indianapolis, you might not think that it's like a very
I know what they do.
prolific city because they're about the same size GDP and population wise to Cleveland. But according to this, Indianapolis pulls from the entire state of Indiana, whereas Ohio, it's split into 3 segments. So Ohio, we can only pull from one tiny little corner of Ohio. So we're just counting on the wealth of Cleveland and the surrounding areas. We're not going to be able to pull from the whole state,
Well,
whereas Indianapolis pulls from the whole state. Detroit pulls from the whole state.
It's densely populated, and that's where the marketing comes in.
Phoenix has a dome that pulls from the whole state. Las Vegas is probably the biggest comparable because Las Vegas has a dome, and it's basically just Las Vegas and a bunch of desert. But Las Vegas, they're basically building it for tourists because they have built up an incredible tourist industry. and they've been building the football game around away teams, and then also having a lot of concerts.
New hockey
Whereas
team, they have a new
Cleveland does
basketball team.
not have the tourists that
It is
Las
densely
Vegas has.
populated, though, and then you'll start to pull from these other markets, because there'll be an attractive, you're going to tell me, but you say Taylor Swift, if they're around this area where you're seeing, it's just a small pocket of Cleveland, which is, they're going to start pulling from those other markets that surround them.
The thing is, though, what Cleveland has going for it is we are known for a music scene.
We were known for music.
Well, which is why we've got the Rock Hall. But
Yep.
as far as local music, we have plenty.
Local
We have
music.
some pretty good local venues, but also we have a lot of artists from this area. So, I mean, we do have a music scene. So,
Uh-huh.
Hey, Princess D, can you hear me in about 30 seconds? So yeah, if we're going to talk about local music scene, I think that's kind of like up her alley because
Cool.
I think she is one that partakes in the local music scene, along
Yeah.
with Rye Guy, who could not be here today because he's under the weather.
that's the one thing we have going for us is the local music.
Yep,
But
Yeah.
Rye Guy has gone awry. So do you want
Hello.
to get how do you want to get into your list?
Let's
Yeah.
check out.
All right, if you want to start with your list,
Yeah.
I'll rotate out and I'll leave this map
Awesome.
up so we can kind of have something to look at. And if someone wants to take the red microphone.
Cool.
um,
Diane.
yeah, but like the local music though, for anyone watching, like local music, it's we have a good local music scene. So I really feel like that.
One of the better venues.
Yes, like we are known more for music. So I think that's it's gonna
Oh,
be good.
show. I'm all for that new stadium. Build it with the dome. I love it. Love it.
I like the dome, but I wish they would put it on the old stadium. But
The dome?
yeah,
Where at?
the one in that they're building in Brook Park.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, which that's what we're talking about. Is that is going to create
Oh, thank you.
opportunities for other events we're not going to talk about, but also big bands like Metallica and all these big people like that can fit a stadium show.
If Metallica tours again, I will be buying tickets immediately.
I've never seen them, and I've always wanted to.
Me neither. And then I'm a big Stranger Things fan.
Okay.
All you need to know. The Master of Puppets, that last episode, and then all of a sudden now Metallica's the coolest thing in the world. They
What?
named a horse in the Kentucky Derby this year after a Metallica song.
Which one?
Sandman.
That's my second favorite Metallica song.
Yeah, he didn't do so hot, unfortunately, but he's got a cool name and he was a social media favorite, so they won something.
Well, I came up because very last minute, because we're unprepared, so a receipt and a pen. I came up with a little list of local venues, but when I say local, I'm talking it can go to Lakewood, it can go all the way to Geneva,
So like Ohio,
Northeast Ohio.
Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
that
So,
works.
and I tried to keep them as close as possible to similar, but a couple of them are kind of a stretch.
Yeah, what do we have?
But so, kind of a little thing of which one you could choose and why.
Ooh, okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
And this is also past, not existing, and present. But it's not every single one of them. It's not every
okay.
single one of them. So,
Okay.
first one, which you talked about earlier, off air,
Yeah.
Blossom versus Tower City Amphitheater.
Tower City had an amphitheater?
Yes. It was called Tower City Amphitheater. I don't even remember what it's called. It's called
Is it
Nautica or
Jake-
something.
Oh, it's
like-
Nautica.
Is it Nautica now?
Oh, wow.
Where they got it's outside, but they got like the tent. Yeah. It used to be called Tower
Wow.
City Amphitheater.
Oh, I'd have to say Nautica then. I saw a concert there in August last year, and it was the best thing. Because, okay, I said I liked Blossom off air because I like being outside, but the problem with Blossom was the parking situation. But Tower City, so I went with now my stepbrother's wife, so I guess my stepsister-in-law. They just got married on Saturday, so congratulations to them.
Congratulations to them.
Side note, anyhow, we went to see Steven Sanchez in August, and we drove in, and we had to pay way less for parking than we expected. We were right there, but also I'm a huge RTA person,
Okay.
and taking the rapid to there and then to get to the venue would have been easy peasy.
But it's like the whole experience of
The whole
the whole
experience is
experience of just
great.
taking the rapid, getting there, enjoying the
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
And
Okay.
because you take the rapid, you can drink as much as you want, and you don't have to drive right away. So that's a plus. The drinks were also like pretty reasonable too.
Well, I haven't been to it as Nautica. I was there as Tower City Amphitheater, but I agree.
Gotcha.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is now, but Blossom, I always find a way to get in the pit.
Smart.
But when I can't and I have to sit in the pavilion, or the very rare occasion I'm on the lawn, I hate that.
Really?
I'm not a stadium seating person.
Okay.
So when I went to Tower City Amphitheater, it opened. And
Yeah, it's
if
nice.
I wanted to go mosh,
You can
I'd
go
run my
mosh.
ass right up to that stage and
Mhm.
mosh. And I loved it because big bands would come there. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it wasn't like a little venue. Big bands would come there, and it was just, I love that stadium, or not stadium, that open, like, just, you can go wherever the fuck you want. And you can get, like, as a Blossom, you're either in the lawn or in the pit standing. Otherwise, you're sitting,
Yeah.
and my fat ass sitting in a seat for a concert, I can't do it, man.
I saw
I want to
Leonard.
jump around.
Yeah, I saw Leonard Skinner at Blossom, and we were in the pavilion, and it was like not great.
But I've been to many concerts there in the pit, and it's
Really good time.
yes.
Mhm.
All right, so next one.
next?
Next one, we've got the Wolfetein Center versus Quicken Loans Arena.
Oh man. So I've actually never seen a concert in the Wolfetein Center. I've been to a couple graduations there.
Okay.
But I've seen many people in Quicken Loans Arena. So I would actually say, I don't know. So far, I would say the Quicken Loans, but I don't know what the sound is like in the Wolfetein Center. The Wolfetein Center is smaller, so I feel like you would be able to get a better view on your people. But like, Quicken Loans seemed pretty fine. And same thing, you can take the rapid and you can drink as much as you want.
Well, I'm going to go with Wolfetein because
Okay.
I've seen Green Day.
You saw Green Day?
I've seen Green Day twice.
Oh,
I've seen Green Day at Blossom once with Blink-182. Amazing.
I saw Blink at Quicken Loans.
Oh yeah. I
2 years ago to this day.
was that Wolfetein or was that, because I was there for that.
It was this one was actually Quicken Loans.
Was it? I can't remember because I was actually in the pit for that.
Oh, good for you.
I literally, like, the stage, like Tom was right at that sign right there.
Oh, good. I paid way too much to be in the nosebleeds. But
Me
it's
too.
But
Me
it's
too.
fine because I was there and that's all that mattered. I just wanted to get in the door and it was such a good show.
$124 I paid for my ticket, and it was an absolute
Brilliant.
nosebleed
Oh.
seat.
As you
Santana at Nautica. Okay. Oh yeah,
should.
Scott.
Ooh, I like Santana.
Scott with Metallica. Okay, Rock and Morty. Yeah, but I can't see that being a regular thing though with
When?
Metallica at 2019.
Oh, I wish.
I paid $124 for my Blink-182 ticket. It was absolute nosebleed,
Mm-hmm.
but connections. As soon as I got there, my buddy's like, "Get a hold of me," and I got a pit pass for you.
Perfect.
It was great. It was great.
I need to get, so like, I have Broadway people in my family, and I have to be very careful how I say this because it might have to do with a birthday present that I just purchased for someone. But I have family who, my stepbrother wrote a Broadway musical, and his partner is a former Broadway dancer and a Broadway cast member and a bunch of stuff. So they know people.
Sorry, I'm not trying to blow vape in your face.
Oh no, you're totally fine. So every now and then, like, we'll do something and they'll be like, "Oh, so and so, yeah. If you ever want to take it, let me know." And so, like, yesterday I was talking about something, and my stepbrother was like, "Oh, I know him personally," and I was like, "Oh, do you know?" Because I don't know. I feel bad flexing those kinds of like connections, but like, sometimes like
Hey, if they offer,
you get to do some cool things, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's just a testament to people's like kindness. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I made it. I'm gonna take you with me.
So, Pauletta, let us know, when did you see Santana at Nautica?
Yeah.
But now we're gonna kind of mix it up a little bit.
What have we got?
We got the Grog Shop versus Bleachroom Ballroom.
I freaking love the Grog Shop. I would say the Grog Shop because I live right there. So I
Okay.
walk to the Grog Shop. Please don't stalk me.
Have you been to the Bleachroom Ballroom at all?
I have a couple times,
Okay.
but I don't have as much. I will say I don't have as much experience with Beachland as the Grog Shop because I grew up closer to Grog Shop.
Yeah.
And then since I've like moved kind of out that way, I've been closer to Grog Shop. However, the concert I went to at Beachland was really cool, and then friends of ours opened a new bar that's walkable from Beachland, so like that might be like my summer spot. We'll see. I'm going to Grog Shop on Wednesday though. So.
I've been to Grog Shop twice.
Okay.
I've never been to Beachland, so I am going to go Grog Shop.
Yeah.
But it's just when it comes down to those intimate settings where
It's
you could be
fantastic.
right there. No, you can't have a bad spot in the whole venue. You know,
Oh,
you're
no.
up close. Okay.
No, and then shameless plug. Every second Wednesday of the month, if you like scary movies, there's a show there called The Midnight Rental, and it's this hostess, and she brings a guest, and we watch a terrible 80s 90s scary movie. And we just comment along with it, and then she has ad breaks, and they're really fun vintage Cleveland commercials. So it's ads for the Randall Park Mall, and it's oh my gosh, we bought a dryer from there in 2001. But yeah, I just I like that kind of stuff. And then also just side plug, Grog Shop is women owned, so girls cheering on
Hell
girls.
yeah, dude.
So yeah.
Now this one, if you like that kind of stuff, these are my two favorite venues.
Oh boy.
Peabody's Down Under versus House of Blues.
Oh man.
These are my two favorites. It is very hard for me to pick this, but I kind of do have a pick.
Okay, so I've never been to Peabody.
Oh!
Where? I know. Wait, where?
Yes, no.
Where is it?
Oh, it's gone. It's been gone for 15 years.
Well, that's.
But it was one of the best local venues.
Where was it?
I can't even remember what street it was on. Because when it went out, probably, I think it was 2010 is when it went out.
I think I remember this. Because in I'm not going to say how old I was in 2010. But I remember hearing about it. I was just a little too young to get into that kind of scene.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember hearing about it. And I feel like it was
it's where I would go as a teenager. My friends' bands would be playing there.
nice.
But then, Mushroomhead used to play there for Halloween every year. I've seen Billy Talent there. And it was great because they had the main stage, and then they had a side stage, which was called Pirates Cove. And it was off to the side. So a lot of times you'd have one band playing here, and all you did is walk into the next room and have another band playing here.
I love
But when
that.
you're in each room, you can't hear what's going on in the other room because it's so loud.
Yeah.
But you kind of just I'm gonna go see what's going on in Pirates Cove, or I'm gonna go see what's going on in the main stage.
Yeah, just wander.
But it was great
I
because a
love
lot
that.
of good bands played there. I think the Misfits have played there.
I like the miss.
But I'm gonna go with House of Blues.
I would say House of Blues. I mean, I've been to shows at the House of Blues too, and they get a lot of indie bands, and I love indie music, and so they show my people.
Well, the thing is, Peabody's was like that as well. It was up and coming people, but then occasionally you'd have known bands, but it was basically, I would say, well, if you had Pirate Cove, it was bigger, maybe, but the main stage area, smaller than House of Blues.
Okay, so here's the plan then. I'm going to specialize in entertainment law, and I'm going to use my law money to buy back Peabody's and reopen.
Oh my God! Do you realize how many people, my friends, if they heard that, are yes, girl,
Yeah?
do this, because a lot of people my generation grew up going to Peabody's. Have your fucking parents drop you off,
And go?
You're hanging out with your friends, and you're just seeing bands, whether it's local bands or Mushroomhead's playing, or maybe Bill Talent, or a decently known band is playing there. You would go and just fucking jam out. It was awesome. But with House of Blues, now that I'm a little older, Social Distortion goes there, and and you kind of go there, and it's the same setup though. It's all so intimate, it's close, So you're kind of.
Yeah.
But I like House of Blues because it has that restaurant connected to it,
It does.
so you could eat at the restaurant. And a lot of times, if a band comes, you eat at the restaurant, and you get in before anyone else.
Exactly.
So that's cool.
So I've seen Steven Sanchez twice. So once at Nautica, and the first time I saw him though was at House of Blues, and I was right. The way seating was, I was right off of the stage. He was probably this is off camera, but you can see it, this that umbrella that's right at the table there. I don't know, maybe 20 feet away.
Something like that.
I have ADHD. I have no depth perception. So yeah, Steven Sanchez was 20 feet away from me, and it was pretty cool.
Scott
But yeah.
SJB says, "I'll tell Lynn Manuel you said hi, John."
Hello.
Pauletta said maybe it wasn't Nautica, but it was the West Bank of the Outdoor Theater. And Scott says Peabody's was on East 21st.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, I know exactly where that is. Okay.
Peabody's Down Under.
Yeah. Okay, well, I needed an elective for the spring anyway, so I'll see what entertainment law classes we have available.
Oh, all right.
So are you gonna get in on the picks?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, I'll just comment because I was really surprised that you were talking about a band that you like that you almost never talk about.
Which band?
Social Distortion.
Oh!
I love Social Distortion.
Yeah, I think he's only talked about maybe 5 times a day, every day for the past 100 years.
Really? Well, then tell us more.
Well, now we got 2 that I've never been to.
Which ones?
We have the Agora
Mm.
and the Akron Civic Theater.
Oh, so I've been to Akron Civic. My friends almost got married at the Agora because, fun fact, they do a wedding venue. It's
Really?
very expensive. Just in case anybody ever wanted to know. But Akron Civic Theater was really cool. Who did I see there? I might have seen a musical there. But it was all right. So I might have to go with the Agora, actually, with that one, even though I've never been in the Agora.
What about you?
Was it Agora versus what?
Akron Civic Theater.
I've been to the Agora. I can't remember who I saw. I remember thinking it was pretty cool, but it was almost pretty similar to House of Blues.
Yeah.
Akron Civic Theater. I have been there. I can't remember why.
Right.
Oh, right. I went to University of Akron, so I used to go see shows there for free.
Ryan saw, I think it was not Akron Civic, the Agora. I think he saw his first concert. It was either that or the Masonic. One of those 2, he was there, and he said it was crazy. So, that's anything into your...
My first concert that I went to was with my parents.
Me too.
And it was Michael Bolton at Tower City.
No kidding.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Wow.
My first concert that I had the choice of going through was Pop Disaster Tour, Blink-182, Green Day at Blossom.
Beautiful. My first concert that I ever went to was Journey. I was 11 years old. And they were at Blossom. It was my birthday present. And then the first concert that I actually picked and bought my own tickets to. Well, the first solo concert I went to was Steven Sanchez. But I would say the first concert that I voluntarily went to might have been Luke Bryan. I went through this huge country phase when I was a senior in high school. Funny story about that one, which we could touch on later. Nick, what was your first concert?
Oh, yeah, I went to it was a Christian music festival. So,
which one? I went to the Fest growing up because I grew up Catholic.
It was the Fest.
No way, you were at the Fest too?
Yep, and it was Switchfoot was the one that was playing.
I know Switchfoot.
Yep.
I talked to what would it be? The head priest of the Cleveland area. Is that the the head bishop or whatever?
Bob Steck or something like that.
I don't know, but there was, so at one point, the Archbishop of, the Cleveland area was a native Spanish speaker, and I minored in Spanish, so I had a whole conversation with this man in Spanish about the rosary.
Oh, wow.
Random tidbit, just one of those random little things.
Let's go with the what?
So I have,
Hablo español.
I have 2 left here.
What do you got?
2 left. I have, Mahall's in Lakewood, or the Cove in Geneva on the Lake.
I freaking love Mayhalls, man. I lived in Lakewood. And then my friend, a couple years ago, my friend did a benefit at Mayhalls for this young adult group, young professional group that we were a part of. But oh my gosh, there was a hot second where every weekend I lived at Mayhalls.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I love Mayhalls.
And what's great about it is in their lobby, you could buy records. I fucking love that. Oh yeah,
this is where I got this coat.
You could buy clothes, and you could buy records.
It's a vintage coat, and by vintage, it's early 2000s, which is a little disrespectful because I'm not vintage.
So
but, I guess I am.
Which one do you choose?
Oh, thank you.
Well, the Cove. That's the one where they do really not nice things to dolphins, right?
Over in Geneva on the Lake, it's just concert venue.
Yeah.
I thought that was the place where they beat up dolphins.
They beat up dolphins?
Yeah.
There's dolphins in Cleveland?
No, this is a Nickism.
A Nickism.
Well, there was a movie called The Cove. And what it was is Asian people doing bad things to dolphins.
I'm a movie person. I don't know why I haven't seen that one.
You really want to see Asian people do bad things to dolphins?
South Park.
No, but in my movies, I've seen a lot of people do a lot of bad things. So, what's one more?
All right. And also the Cove in Geneva, didn't they used to be a skin joint?
I don't know.
Was it?
The first time I was there was probably like 2007 or 8 or something like that.
Okay.
But it was cool. But I have one left.
What you got?
And all right, you got the Foundry versus Menor Amphitheater. And this one was like I was saying, it was kind of the stretch.
Got
The Foundry,
you.
what's that?
It was a local
Like-
venue that was pretty well known, but I've never been to it.
It's
Where
like
is
a
it?
Lakewood. It's like the border. It's like Lakewood borderline Cleveland, right?
Something like
Kind
that,
of.
yeah.
I think I went to a show
It's another
there.
one where a lot of bands play. Like I'm not really sure, like even if it's open anymore.
No, I think it is. I went there at one point when I lived in Lakewood, and I thought it was really cool.
But that's one that's another pretty well known smaller venue around.
I liked it. I remember liking it when I was there.
Have you ever been to Menor Rocks in Menor? Oh man,
I know. I need to.
and it's free. It just yeah, it's free. It's all cover bands, but every once in a blue
I like
moon,
cover bands.
they have an actual band that comes and plays.
Well, they have major acts that come
Nice.
through every
Oh,
year, like at
thank
least
you.
like 2 or 3.
Well,
Thank you.
who was the first one? Was it who was the band? Was it Everclear?
Finger 11,
Thank
Well, no,
you.
they had
Appreciate
Finger
you.
11, but who was the other one? Everclear?
5 finger. Best
No.
What was what?
I think I know someone who definitely knows the answer to this question.
Finger 11 played it, and it's free. Finger 11 played there, and
You're right. I remembered that they did.
We're just wondering what was
Oh,
the
somebody's going to Foundry this
Was
Friday.
it Everlast or Everclear that played there at Menor?
Menor Rocks.
Yeah, and it's free. The thing is, when it first started,
All of them.
you can when it first started, you can get in to be a lot of people, but you can like park in the high school parking lot. Now it's become so big that it is very difficult to like actually get into parking.
Hey, John, are you keeping up on these comments?
Some of them,
Some of them.
Some of them.
Someone, yeah. So Scott B said he's
Yeah,
going to the Foundry. So Foundry's is open this Friday.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Scott's bust my balls because Lynn Manuel Miranda, young cultured swine, but yeah, so that's what I thought. Like when Paula said, the Cove's been there 45,
Salud.
50 years. I could see that. Hi. Bye. That's cool. Guess I'll just go fuck myself then.
So the Foundry apparently 6 months ago closed down in Lakewood, and they moved to Old Brooklyn.
Oh, really? Okay.
No way.
That's what according to Reddit,
Oh, okay.
which is always right.
The Foundry was
That
in its
sounds
original
familiar,
place for a
though.
while.
Yeah, that sounds like you don't have this on there, but this Friday there's like a Doors cover band because after last week and the anti-hero thing, we all know how much I love the Doors.
Oh yeah,
But Winchester does very small venue.
I've been to the Winchester.
I like the Winchester.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Fun fact: I won bingo at the Winchester a couple years ago.
Hey, all right.
So I'm gonna be thriving when I'm an old lady.
so,
Because you got a head start on bingo.
100%.
so go to the Winchester, you might win bingo.
Yeah, go to the Winchester. You might win bingo, and also there's a Doors cover band, which is like all that I need in my life.
They call themselves the Windows.
Yes, I have no idea what they call themselves.
Now, when they came up with this list, though, I was
Yeah.
trying to kind of keep out bars as like more
Yeah.
like because like a lot of local bars around the whole like I don't know so much about the west side, but
Sure.
like the east side, like we got shit around here where it's
Yeah.
bands play,
Yeah,
and
rarely. Like we don't really have that much.
well, we've got a few.
There's a good amount,
I'm
I
just
feel
not.
like, over
I'm not
here.
naming them because I don't want to. I mean, I can.
You can plug people. I don't care.
I don't know. I don't know
I
if I
don't
want to.
You don't have to.
You're scared.
I mean, maybe on a couple of them. I don't know.
Tell us
But-
offline
no.
because I love
But
live music.
yeah.
So I will follow people.
Yeah, I mean, there's some like that are set up to play local music and stuff like that. So I tried to keep it as like little tiny like the little ones, like little tiny venues that
Yeah.
have a bar and stuff. But like just try to keep it as close as possible. The Foundry and Menor Amphitheater are kind of rough, but I do love that Menor set up an amphitheater and they don't ask you for. Then the thing is, the concerts are free.
hmm
They have food and alcohol trucks. You're not allowed to bring in your own alcohol. but they have food and alcohol trucks.
Oh, you're not?
You're not.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, you knew that. You knew that.
Yeah, I knew that.
He goes, yeah, sure.
Maybe we should have Scott come in and tell us about Men of Rocks. He knows all about it.
Come on in, Scott.
Well, so they it's free, which is absolutely cool, and the fact that they've had like Finger Eleven, and I think it was Everclear that played there. But they have a lot of good like cover bands that come. Like there's a Lincoln Park cover band coming, which is
Because they're
great.
never going to tour again.
What's that? Oh, no.
Do they?
No, Lincoln Park has a lady singer now, and she's not good. Not good.
Okay.
But it's free, but I mean, it's kind of you have to get there first. But then they have like food and beer trucks that and so it's really cool that Cleveland did that, and I feel like it really brought a lot of Lake County together with that.
Yeah.
It goes through June through I think was it August? It's like was it like 8 weeks or something like that?
Oh, that's
No,
a
it's a
short
lot.
season.
It's more than that.
Is it? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do like the backstage, some of the photoing for it too. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
always
it's,
there.
It's not long. I mean,
Yeah,
it has to
it
be.
is.
It has to be maybe.
I got it.
It's not as
starts,
long as you would think.
yeah,
I mean, maybe into September, but
Because I feel like September, like it's because I met Ryan at an outside thing, in like an outside like music thing in the end of September. If
Oh.
you want the date, I got that. But like,
Aunt Laura was right on that too.
Yeah.
Lita Ford was there.
Yeah.
Lita Ford
Oh,
was
no
there
kidding.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think backstage with a lot of these people. So
Yeah.
it starts like June the 3rd, and it goes all the way through August 26th.
That's what I thought. June through August.
And
That's what I
it's
thought.
primarily on Tuesdays is like their main the bands and stuff. So
okay.
and, we're talking like we're doing almost about 16
And it's only
plus
two,
shows.
it's only 2 hours. Like
Oh, that's
it's
not bad,
it's
though.
from 7 to 9. So it's people can go
Mhm.
and the bands play, and it's like I think it's 7 to 9, right? And
Yeah, he kind
I
of
work
kicks off
from-
at 7. It goes about dark, so 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I work from home Wednesdays, so I can do whatever I want on Tuesdays.
yeah, so these are great. So we come down. So I actually got access. Usually I go backstage and they'll do some photos or on stage photos and just to help
Nice.
them out. So this year, like so some of the national recording artists they have are Devin McGraw, DeGraw,
Mhm.
and then they have Uncle Cracker.
No
Yeah,
way!
he's
Oh, is
on-
Uncle
my
Cracker?
gosh.
Yeah, he's June the 24th. I got
No
the whole lineup.
way!
Oh,
Uncle
that's right. He
Cracker.
is going to be there.
Yeah, and I've hung
Yeah.
out with him. He's pretty cool, dude. I've hung out with him before. He's
Yeah?
a really nice guy
I
from
love his
the
music.
Detroit area.
No
and,
way!
I'm
He's a
so-
Detroit guy.
Yeah. So, like, they'll do, like, a lot of, when they kick off the season, they have, like, a
Cover.
Zach Brown cover,
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln Park cover. They call themselves, like, In the End.
They-
and then
There's a Queen
they have
cover
a,
band.
yeah,
that comes.
yeah,
Oh,
they
I like
always,
it.
every
I
year.
love
Those guys
Queen.
are fantastic. And then they have Don't Look Back, which is in Boston. And then they have The
Yeah.
Escape, which is the Journey cover. Run to You, I think it looks like Brian Adams.
Okay.
Yeah, they have, who else they got?
Thank
Man,
you.
well, there's another.
Oh,
it is,
Escape is a good
yeah.
band.
Escape Great Journey Band.
I feel like I've seen them before, actually.
Um,
I liked them. If it's the band I'm thinking of, they were great.
Yeah, that Queen cover band is pretty good. They've had a No
Yeah.
Doubt cover
Maroon
band.
5, Pip, and
Basically,
Eli Young.
anyone.
I really like Queen. That would be
So
fun.
they got the Eli Young band coming to National Act, National Recording Artist. They'll be there. We have a Def Legend, which is Def Legend. Queen Nations, the Queen cover band.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They have a Bon Jovi cover band. So,
Mm.
a lot of exciting shows, and it's a really nice venue. They have the food trucks and everything. You bring your own lawn seats and stuff. And
Perfect.
they say you don't bring their own, don't bring your own
That's-
beverages and stuff.
okay.
just
Don't ruin it for us.
don't
Say,
bring your,
don't bring your own.
Don't ruin it for us.
Don't bring your own
alcohol.
beverages.
Don't bring your own alcohol in the Men of Rocks, and
Right.
we'll just leave it at that.
So what happened with a lot of those, because now you have one out in the Mayfield area, down 91. You have a lot of these other places copycatting these,
Mhm.
particular venue, and they bring bands in to bring the communities together, which is pretty good because it draws support, local
And it-
artists
and
and,
it
stuff
is.
like that. A lot of them are copycat, the Menor formula. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've never been down there, you check it out. They got big screen theaters. It's like a really professional operation. Not only that,
yeah.
they utilize that park where they have like movie night for kids. Sometimes on the weekend, you come
Yeah.
there, bring the kids up on the big screen. You can watch,
Mhm.
a certain movie or some stuff. But
That's smart.
But
Movie
very
night.
good
I
acts.
like that.
Professional.
You know what though?
atmosphere.
They built that venue, and it's free admission, so the taxpayers obviously paid for it.
Thank you.
But all those food trucks that come in
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and you do it year after year after year,
Mhm.
you know, and you can make some money off it, you know.
It's a good
'Cause
time, good family event.
yeah, it's really nice, and I mean, when it first started, I went a few times the first couple of years.
Yeah.
It has gotten big. It's gotten really big over like years.
Sure.
So
It's attracting more and more
it's
attention.
more and more. So the parking, you have to park
Yeah.
further and further away, but it's definitely fun. It's definitely worth it. Like
yeah,
if
you
you
get there
got,
a little early, you can set up, and
yeah,
you know, it's got like that a blossom lawn type of feel.
yeah, it's
It really
Yeah.
does.
yeah, it literally looks like Blossom. There's just
It's
like
easier to
it's,
park than Blossom, and it's closer to walk. It ain't like the
Perfect.
Blossom
and it's
pass.
and it's all
Take it.
lawn, and it's
Yep.
all lawn. Like it's not like pavilions. It's all lawn.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that lawn because, like, I'll just like lay on the ground sometimes
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
hang out.
but I mean,
So you were talking about some of these local venues. Anything you
Yeah.
wanted to ask me about? Because
well,
Yeah. there, played a lot of
actually,
them.
You
All right.
played a
All
lot
right.
of them.
We-
so,
Okay.
yeah,
we talked about it a little
Tell
bit,
us
but
more.
we'll skim past real quick
Yeah.
because we had our picks already. Blossom or Tower City Amphitheater?
Blossom.
Why is that?
Really?
I just like the vibe. You know,
Okay.
it's just like I like the pre-party.
In the parking lot? In the parking lot? Yeah. Okay, we skipped over that. The partying in the
Sometimes you
parking lot.
don't-
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't make it to Blossom.
The red solo cups in the parking lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Wolfetein or Quicken Loans Arena?
Ooh, probably Wolfetein. The Quickens or the Rocket Mortgage is okay, but that's more of like you know
Or
that's
Rocket
the old,
Mortgage, whatever the fuck. I
Yeah,
can't-
whatever. That's more of the old Richfield Coliseum like vibe
Yeah.
and stuff, which is pretty cool. But the rules and the regulations in there, you know,
Yeah.
are just way different.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the Wolfetein on that.
Grog Shop or Beachland Ballroom?
Ooh, Beachland's just closer. Grog Shop, dirty, filthy hole. Beachland Ballroom. My boys
Yeah.
at the Beachland, you know, and you know the reason why too is because they got the two stages. They got the main ballroom and they got the the bar stage and all that.
Right?
All right.
I just like that.
All right. And now we got my two favorite:
Uh-huh.
Peabody's Down Under or House of Blues.
Peabody's.
Okay.
That's it. Got the ultimate grunge Cleveland
Which is
Vibe
which
feel.
unfortunately is not. Which
filthiness. I love it.
Princess D said that she is going to purchase.
I'll bring it back with
She's
my
going to
lawn
purchase
money.
Peabody. I told you. I told you.
I got a
told-
lot
when
of
she's-
insights how I can help.
When
Let's
when
go.
she said that, I was
Go.
like, if anyone heard that, they're going to go crazy over that and say, go
Yeah.
My
for it.
law school
It
money.
just is it just is it's just got a good feel, it got a good reputation, a good vibe.
Perfect.
All right.
What else you got there?
Agora or Akron Civic Theater?
Well, I'm just gonna skip both of them, but the worst place to play ever is the Akron Tangier. You ever been
Really?
into the Tangier?
I
I haven't.
haven't.
I
Oh my
haven't.
god, great thing. It's just like the ultimate like setup, like seating and all that, but to play there is the worst fucking
Sucks.
place to play. The only reason being is you walk out to the stage, you got to go through the hallway to get to the stage where the back main room is. It's just such a pain in the ass, but I'll go with the Agora on
And
that one.
I
My
think
friends almost got married in the Agora.
The Agora, yeah,
well,
definitely.
the last one we talked about, but I don't know if were you on for this, but I said Mahals or the Cove. Were you on for that?
Oh, no. I'll go with the Cove. Cove's got just a nice outdoorsy feel, and I like the Cove.
Over in Geneva on
Yeah,
the lake?
I like it.
Have you been to Mahals though? I
I love Mayhaw.
I
It is really good.
Mahals. There's
Yeah.
always an argument of how you say it. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I said Mayhalls and I got corrected. So
But I've said Mahals, Mahals. I don't know.
it's
What's
that
the other
place
one?
that's
Yeah.
on Madison Avenue and there's a bowling alley in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You know
got,
what I'm
and,
talking
but
about.
they sell records inside the
Yeah,
lobby.
it
And
is
vintage
cool.
clothing.
It's-
Her-
And
her-
puffer jacket.
That part of it I like, but then if you take that against like the Cove, it's just like I love the whole Geneva Strip. If you think about
Yeah.
clothing and sales and all other venues, the Geneva Strip, it ain't no like the hose.
Yeah, but we
Whatever.
talked about the last one. No, I don't know if we did. The Foundry or Menor Amphitheater.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then you said something about like Winchester and stuff. Cool place to play too. A lot of good
I like
acts
the
come through there.
Winchester.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best in the Lakewood area, in my opinion. But they got that
It was
theater over there somewhere by Alaria. It is pretty cool for the
It was
West Side.
so much fun. When I first graduated college, I lived in Lakewood, and
Yeah.
I was there for I wasn't there for a full year. my family's on the east
Yeah.
side, so like they were kind of like there was a lot of they were trying to bring me back, so
Yeah.
I didn't fully get to like experience a lot of Lakewood. But while I was there, I had so much fun, and then now I find myself I'm going back and doing so much over there.
Sure.
There's a great bookstore over there, like, and I love to read, so bookstores are my thing.
Cool.
So
The-
you know,
this-
back and forth between music and bookstores, but
Mhm.
yeah, Lakewood and the whole
the
West
surrounding
Side.
things that you could do around that venue,
Yeah.
or maybe earlier in the day you're doing this, and then you're like, all
And
right,
then I walked
then
over
Yep.
over to Mahal's at the end, you know.
Hence the
literally.
Geneva on the Lake thing when you're asking, because I just like there's so much other vibe on that.
My
Yeah.
law school money, I got you.
Right.
We'll see.
Mr.
We'll see.
McCrevice, do you want to step in?
Investing.
Yeah, do you want to step in on the end?
Grenade on you guys. I wanted to ask you, what do you guys think about arena concerts versus smaller venues? Do we really need a gigantic new arena that costs $2 million when we have so many arena venues already?
Yes.
No,
Well,
sorry, but
I
no.
I am not a fan of arena venues unless it's the only way I'm going to see bands like Blink or Green Day or something like that.
Huh?
You know, Blink or Green Day or something like that. But I saw that.
So I went to the concert that was at like, so arena. Are we counting football stadiums too? Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I saw the concert that was like Joan Jett, Poison, Def Leppard, Leonard Skinner.
Awesome.
Or, I'm sorry, not Leonard Skinner. Motley Crue.
Yep.
So
Was that
like-
awesome or what?
okay, it was really freaking cool.
It
My
was.
grandma
I
nannied.
loved it.
My grandma nannied for the lead singer of Def Leppard's
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
She said he was the nicest guy she's ever worked
Joe
for.
Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe
He's
Elliott.
a great guy. you
Yeah.
know? And
He
like,
gave her my uncle is a huge fan, so he gave her like pit tickets.
Yeah.
My mom's from LA, so he gave her like he gave her brother like pit tickets because he's still out there.
Mhm.
So yeah, nice dude. But the acoustics, like, especially when I love Motley Crue, but when Motley Crue got out there, it was so hard to hear them.
Yeah.
Some of the acoustics.
Yeah, and I can tell you why, because a lot of those
Yeah,
when
why?
you're in the arena thing, so you have to do like the sound, you have to account for everybody.
Yeah,
So a lot of that they're doing like what they call like echo points and variations and stuff.
got
so they're
you.
trying to like make it, got to try to like all of that and put it all together. It's a tough thing in a venue. That's why hence they do a lot of sound checks with the band, and
That makes sense.
it's tough to replicate. Because if you're going to do the sound check, you got to be consistent with what you're playing and stuff.
That's
But
true.
Motley Crue, like, because I actually had the privilege sometimes to, at that show, walk to the front, walk to the back,
No
they wanted my
kidding.
actual opinion on the
Okay.
acoustics on that. And I was like, yeah, sometimes it's all muddy and shit up front where you're at,
Yeah.
because of where the speakers are pointed. But when you go up to, the pinnacle spots and, and it comes back, it sounded fantastic. Each
Yeah.
one of those four acts,
That
Joan
was-
Jett, Poison, Def Leppard, Motley Crue were fantastic. They were spot on the money, and they got postponed for like a good year or two from COVID. And they kept their commitment.
They
And some of
did
those
it.
bands weren't even touring; they just came back
They
to do a
came
couple
back.
shows. And the work that they did, you thought it was going to be a joke, and I was like, no, these guys took this show serious, and that's
Oh,
what you love to see from musicians. That's why I want the big dome stadiums and that, because like I was
Okay.
talking about earlier with
Yeah.
Nick, is it eliminates the weather element. And when you come in
That's
there and
so
you're
true.
setting up the shows, you could get them in the winter time when the weather's shitty, and if it's raining and if it's snowy and if it's crappy,
Yeah.
the people that are setting them up and tearing them down don't care
That's
because it's
true.
covered.
That's
You don't have
Yes.
to deal with that bullshit like with the Cleveland element, and it makes it more
Yeah.
attractive to come.
that's
And another
Yes.
point I brought up too is
That's so
sometimes it's
true.
the supporting acts that come in there. It's not only the main act that's there; people are drawn from the supporting acts. And
Yeah.
then, and instead of having to go, because I was faced with the dilemma a few years back.
Uh huh.
I'm going to see Guns N' Roses. I'm not the hugest fan of them. I like a lot of their work, but they're like,
Yeah.
it's Detroit or Pittsburgh. And I was like, you know what? Fucking neither. It'd
Yeah,
be enough
neither.
to get me to go to Cleveland. I'd see them if they were in Cleveland.
well,
But I'm
that's-
not
Oh,
going to
100%.
Detroit. I'm not going to fucking Pittsburgh to see Guns N' Roses.
Now-
My sister lives close to Detroit,
Yes.
so it's like I would because then I can go see her out of that. But like
Right.
any other time, it's like,
Yeah,
no.
but if they had somewhere to go with them, they guarantee there would have stopped between.
What's up?
Just my point.
Earlier, Red Hot Scott said you got to get a supporting act in there because if Taylor Swift is coming in, you got to get somebody to open up for him, like Blink 182.
Yeah.
Oh,
Always.
Nope.
I'd
Actually,
love to see a
actually,
Blink-182
there-
Taylor
actually,
Swift
There you
thing.
go now.
there was a concert. there was literally a night where Blink and Taylor Swift were playing side by side venues.
Where?
I can't remember. And Mark went over to the Taylor Swift, and like as people were coming in, he was taping it. He's like doing like a Instagram reel. He goes, "You guys should be coming to see Blink 182."
So I'm not a Swiftie, but I totally like respect like her for her brand and her music and all that she's done. But like, yeah, you need a little bit of Blink 182 in your
Yeah,
life.
so if you're the concert promoter, the owner of the house, the guy running the show, or booking agents and
Yeah.
all that, you're taking Taylor Swift every
That's
day of
cool.
the fucking week. You know, we don't care if you like the music or not. You're going to put asses and butts into the chairs, and that's what matters.
But
So I'm told this is the last call bell,
Yep,
and I really just wanted to ring this bell. So
I think we are approaching the end. That's where should we all get our last words in? It was actually cool talking about that. That was nice.
So I love the summer because it's concert season, and then now summer means even more to me because
Sure.
I'm not in school. So like I'm extra
Oh, that's
psyched
awesome.
and
Yeah.
pumped for concert season.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say.
So my last words, I'll just start out.
Go for it.
Build everything. I don't give one fuck. Build it all. Everybody come and play. I don't care. More, the merrier. The better, the more. Because I'm music. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Treat everybody well. Love you all.
Okay. To me, if they could fucking rebuild the current Brown Stadium and keep it where it's at, and either cover it or completely build another venue that could have those enclosed main concerts, that'd be great. But
Yeah.
Well, my last words, like always, I'm Jsonda. Drop stunners, not drugs. Raise hell, praise Dale.
My last words are drop acid, drop your bad habits.
I owe like music and outside venues to like the love of my life. So like, yes, get out this summer and enjoy some of these venues, whether you agree with us on our picks or not. Go have fun.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Mercury Maniacs, we're not Brainiacs, now featuring the Brain Trust. It's up to you to figure out which ones of us are the dumb ones or the smart ones.
Dumb, smart.
Me?
No,
Oh, I don't know
dumb,
about
Whoa.
smart.
Whoa.
I don't know about that.
Dumb, smart. These guys are the Brainiacs, so.
Well, we're working. We got a Brainiac in training.
That's right.
Yeah.
This guy's training wheels
That's
on.
right.
All right,
He's good.
Red Hot Scott.
Last words?
You already said the last words. Button.
Let's see.
Button thing.
Oh,
Let's
you
see
can
if you
hit the
can.
button.
Button
Let's see if you can
things.
find it.
Okay.
All right, it's in the corner.
It's in the
You're
corner.
gonna be able to find it. I swear.
Bye.
Wrong corner. Bottom corner.
Oh, did you do it? Did you do it? Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye. Just rock out. Go to the show.